Hi, everyone. There's something wrong with my hair. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Facebook Live. It's Raj Gavrila here, experiencing intelligent breakthroughs in your performance in life. And this week, we're going to continue on the 7 strategies to solve a performance gap. Last week, we talked about identifying and proving the gap, or identifying and proving the performance gap. This week, we'll talk about the second strategy, and you can look at last week's video to see that you really understand what that means. Please don't just look at strategy number 1 and say, oh, okay, I understand, I identify, and then I prove the gap. Well, there's some other insights in there that you should watch. The second one is modeling. So what does that mean, modeling? Well, think about it. Most likely, whatever it is that you have a gap in, you can go and do a research or do research to see who has done something similar, what is available out there that you could even do a literature review, just so that you can see the different approaches everyone has taken. Now, the thing with modeling is that you're not doing it exactly like they're doing it, because first of all, your situation is different. There's a lot of inimitable elements to it. There's people involved. There's environment involved. So what you're doing is you're basically looking at just trying to get a good sound model together that you can look at, or several models, and then be able to put your own together with your value, with your thinking, with what you know about the environment, the situation, the people, the organization, the team, the individuals. And so that's a really, really key component to solving a performance gap, because why wouldn't you look and see how other people have solved or approached something similar? And again, you're not going to find exactly the same thing, because just you being an individual and each of your teammates being different than the people that were there, right there tells you that it's going to be a unique situation. People would love to be able to just model what it is they want and just do it. But really, I don't know if they really love that, because what's the use? You're not using your intelligence, you're not using your team, you're not using the communication and interaction to achieve something greater. Because most likely, whatever you're doing, you're going to want to achieve something that's greater, or a breakthrough, or has greater value to you than what you've seen before. Because simply, again, it's in a different environment, different context, etc., different organization. So what are some examples of modeling? Well, we can go anywhere from looking at any company. I mean, people go and they talk with mentors or advisors and other people. And the reason that they do this is because sometimes it is for direct advice, telling them what to do based on being involved in that situation and understanding it. Or sometimes it is mentoring to guide a person through this process of modeling. Or it is simply doing a literature review and just watching and looking at and doing other research online and talking with people who might be at another organization in your network. And then you sort of put together your own model from how they approached it or what their model was. And then, of course, you can actually model a leader or a person in business. So if you really like someone's style or the way that they approach business and life and performance and human performance in life and breakthroughs and organizational development breakthroughs, then you can model that person. And what you're doing there is not that you're trying to clone that person. No, you're not, because you're a unique, different, gifted, talented, skilled, with growing abilities individual who has different goals and outcomes and dreams and aspirations and a vision and a mission. However, what you'll get from that is you'll gain insights into some of the way that that person thinks. And you might model some things exactly like they are, and other things you adapt. And so right now, another example is you could be modeling me. So in other words, you see what my 7 strategies are, and if you go and you watch these videos and it resonates with you or it has value to you, but for your organization in each one of those 7 areas, it's you adapt it or you evolve it or tweak it or whatever you need to do to make it robust to fit your situation, to be of greatest, best value for you. And that's very, very important. So that's what modeling is, right? Another real simple example of modeling, especially in performance, it doesn't matter if you're working on technology, if you're studying for a test, if you're trying to sell a service or a product, you're in engineering, you're I don't know, trying to learn to ride a bike. Let's say you've never ridden a bike, which I would think most people have, but I mean, that's okay. What would you do? You would first find someone who's doing it and just observe. And when you observe, you would love to be able to either read something about it or talk with them and ask them some questions like, when you do this kind of project or when you see this kind of configuration, what are you looking at? What is your performance cues? What are they? What are you sequencing, and how are you taking a look at this? And you'll see that they'll have some pretty set ways of doing it, and they have a framework and a structure that they use. And of course, that's not going to be 100% accurate each time because everything is so customized these days. However, it gives you a very, very excellent progress very fast, so that you can see those things. It could be as simple as, let's say you're a golfer, right? Let's say you want to become a better golfer. Well, then all of a sudden you go and you watch a professional golfer and you somehow read something about, he put a book out on golfing. So you might have researched a little bit of that, watched some film. You might have had the opportunity to talk with him and just say, look, based where I'm at, what do you think, what's the progression and things of that nature. And, again, keep in mind that it's the value you bring that's going to be the most critical. However, this will give you a framework to where you're not just starting from the very beginning, from zero, with zero knowledge. You're actually modeling someone who's had success, and therefore it gives you more confidence. Not only that, but it allows you to learn and apply that learning, experiencing an intelligent breakthrough, because now, let's say you want to talk about how to get a team to perform better. And there's a reason you want to do that and you want to go towards a breakthrough. Well, then how are you going to do that? If you had never worked on a team as far as like being the person to make that happen, to make that breakthrough happen, well, the way you do it is you model it. You model someone, you go and do the literature review, you do a review online, you might talk with someone who has done something of that similar nature. And then you put your knowledge into it, and that's where we'll get into some of the next steps. So that's what I have for you this week on modeling. So you do it all the time. Most of you are a combination model of your parents, your mom and dad, And then, of course, you put your uniqueness and your values and your everything else is what you brought to it. And you'll see that. You'll see that you have some of those traits that your mom and dad have. And it's not just physically, it's also mentally, emotionally. It could be habits, it could be handwriting, it could be a combination of things. So that's another example of modeling. If something here resonates with you, you can contact me at 864-569-2315 or send me an email at raj@rajgavrulla.com. Do I have a meaningful trigger this evening? Yes, I do. This evening, I'm watching the U.S. Open Tennis Championships. So that'll be exciting. It's always great. Last night was a great match where Millman won, so he's advancing to the next round. So that was actually an exciting match to watch, very close. And my zone effect for this week. The zone, again, is when you're making a performance breakthrough or you're making doing something better or making significant improvement in your performance, and time is not a factor. I mean, it's there always, but it's not a deterring factor. Everything's in slow motion and it feels effortless. So what were mine? Well, I made a breakthrough in two areas. One, I've made a breakthrough in the number of push-ups I can do. I won't tell you the number because I'm not here to compare numbers with anybody. I'm not like that. I want to do what I need to do for my own personal best breakthroughs and build it up and go that way, because I have a very unique situation, as everyone else does. Rehabilitated from injuries for years. And so it's something that, I've just really made very good progress. And so that's significant for me as far as for strengthening, and it obviously gives me more clarity and confidence and all the other things. And just knowing that when I stick to a plan and I have the right tools, the right support system, the right reinforcement, then it can happen. Knowledge, skills, abilities, goals, aspirations, etc. The other one that I received was playing tennis. And we do a little warm-up drill beforehand. And it's a little difficult to explain, but we basically get at the service line, one person on one side of the service line, the other one on the other side of the service line, and we hit the ball back and forth. And so we want to get it up to over 50. So I think we got 62. So that was a breakthrough. And of course, pro players, two pro players could keep going probably all day, but that's not the point. I'm not comparing myself or my partner to a pro player. All I'm saying is that we came close before and we didn't quite get the 50 mark. And this time we got 62. And we've also added to it to make it more of a workout so that we can warm up and have more power and control and consistency in our ability to use and feel the ball and think and see the ball, all of those things, anticipation, teamwork, just going for a different type of breakthrough and just going for that next level of success. So that's what I have for you today. At 3:30, I will be talking about experiencing innovation and entrepreneurial leadership using modeling.